This is Vayishlach, the third portion, which is chapter 32 of Genesis. This is verse 31. And Jacob named the place Peniel, for he said, I saw an angel face to face, and my soul was saved. And the sun rose for him when he passed Peniel, and he was limping on his thigh. Therefore the children of Israel may not eat the displaced tendon which is on the socket of the hip until this day, for he touched the socket of Jacob's hip in the hip sinew. Chapter 33. Jacob lifted his eyes and saw, and behold, Esau was coming, and with him were 400 men. So he divided the children with Leah and with Rachel, and with two maidservants. And he placed the maidservants with their children first, and Leah and her children after, and Rachel and her Joseph last. And he went ahead of them, and prostrated himself to the ground 7 times, until he became close to his brother. And Esau ran towards him, and embraced him, and he fell on his neck, and kissed him, and they wept. And he lifted his eyes, and saw the women and the children, and he said, Who are these to you? And he said, The children with whom God has favored your servant. Chapter 32, and the sun rose for him. This is a common expression. When we arrived at such and such a place, the dawn broke for us. This is the simple explanation. The Midrashic Agada, Tamchuna Buber, Vayishlach 10 and Vayishlach 68:10 explains, And the sun rose for him to heal his limp, as it is stated in Malachi 3:20, the sun of mercy with healing in its wings. And those hours that it hastened to set for him, when he left Beersheba, it hastened to rise for him. And he was limping his thigh. He was limping on his thigh when the sun rose. Verse 33, the hip sinew, Hebrew, Gid HaNashe. Now why was it named Gid HaNashe? Because it sprang Nashe out of its place and rose. And that root is a term for springing. Similarly in Jeremiah 51:30, their might has failed, Nashta. And similarly below 41:51, for God has caused me to forget, Nasani, all my toil, from Chuli 91a. Chapter 33, verse 2, and Leah and her children after, the further back, the more beloved, from Vayishlach 78:8. Verse 3, went ahead of them, and he said, If that scoundrel comes to fight, let him fight with me first, from Vayishlach 78:8. This is my favorite Rashi. Verse 4, and embraced him. His compassion was moved when he saw him prostrate himself all those times, from Vayishlach, and kissed him. Hebrew, Veishkuhu, has dots over the word. There is a controversy concerning this matter in the Baraisa of Sifri, Ve'aloscha 69. Some interpret the dots to mean that he did not kiss him wholeheartedly. That's my understanding. Reb Shimon Bar Yochai said, it is a well-known tradition that Esau hates Jacob, but his compassion was moved at that time, and he kissed him wholeheartedly. Verse 5 to finish up. Who are these to you? Rashi says, who are these to be yours? I just want to say quickly on this Rashi. This is going to be, I think, the experience at the end of Galut, when the nations of the world are going to look around and realize who the Jewish people are and who we were this whole time, God's royalty on the planet, and they're going to look to us and they're going to want to hug us and cry over us and say, if we would have known, we wouldn't have treated you like this. You know, it's basically been the responsibility of the non-Jew to take care of the Jew, to nurture him, to heal him, to help him, to support him, to make him feel good about who he is and the special role that he was given. And history has indicated, history has shown, has portrayed a much bloodier, much darker, much more grotesque picture of how the non-Jews treated the Jew, basically because of misunderstanding. But hopefully now, with communication being shared amongst such mediums like this one, for example, and other ones, and it's happening so frequently, eventually the hatred will go away, because human beings by their nature don't have this feeling to hate. They're actually loving creatures. But it's just a matter of time. And then we'll have this experience where Esav, our non-Jewish brother, will just want to hug us and say, we're so sorry. They're going to be moved at that moment to do it. And then this Reb Shimon Bar Yochai will come up, that it's a known tradition that this was actually your Esav hates Jacob. But the compassion at that time, at the end of Galut, is going to be so much that the non-Jews are going to say, oh my gosh, we're so sorry. We didn't realize the potential we had to heal the world, to heal the planet, to bring redemption to the world, to bring the Messianic redemption to the world, but simply by treating you like the people you are, and by encouraging you to keep the 613 commandments that you are charged to keep. If only we would have known, we would have gotten to this goal much sooner. But clearly it's only a matter of time. And may God Almighty bless the Jews to have true unity and to have a true sense of awakening towards serving their Creator, and the non-Jews to truly befriend the Jew and to see him for what he is, God's royalty on this planet. Thank you so much.